Hey, what's going on? My name is Aiden, better known as the Slouching Etiquette, and this is Mythos Supercut, Director's Commentary. Uh, so let me give you a little background on Mythos. Mythos started back in the 6th grade when I decided to write a book entitled Mythos. It was a two-part book, a really bad book at that, and the book contained various things that would be featured in Mythos, the web series. Now, Mythos, obviously I'm a child. I can't do anything epic like go to different location sets. So that's why a lot of location sets were reused. Mostly the park and my house. That's about the location. That's all the location sets. The park was used about in like 3 out of the 4 episodes. So, you know, what are you gonna do there? You know, the reason when I was doing this when I was younger, Mythos Alpha, I had started working on it around, I'd say June, mid-June to, yeah, I started working on it mid-June, and basically that's why everything has this little continuity. I was super young and I didn't know what I was doing, so basically that's why my shit would keep changing. That part right there, that wasn't in the original episode. A lot of this is changed around because of either personal reasons, as requested by my friends, or just to make it seem better. That was sort of a mixture of both. I used the scene from Mythos Charlie, I believe that's the correct episode, because I didn't like how it was used, so I just wanted to reuse it somehow. The first appearance of Mr. Connor. Connor is definitely one of my greatest friends. Connor here plays a slide god, one of a really stupid character that I just made up. Basically the character's plot is he's a god of the slides. And the reason I came up with this character is because I remember I came over to the park and I texted Connor to come out because his house was like right across from the park. And so we were just hanging out for about an hour or so, and the entire time I talked about some random nonsense I'd made up about slide gods or whatever. And then, 2, 3 weeks later, here we are, slide god. And here's the scene where I'm like, oh, tell me about the rules and everything, because I actually did tell him about all these rules that I came up off the top of my head when we were talking. So, that's why I said that. I was like, tell me all the rules and stuff. My favorite line from Luke as Slide God is definitely Steve in Canada. Because it's just, I mean, to be fair, the Slide God doesn't have a lot of lines in terms of, screen time. But, this scene I always found stupid because, it didn't really make any sense. It's like, oh, you hit his head against the pipe a little hard and then he get dead. It doesn't make sense. Roman and Anthony. Uh, Roman, he is a cool dude. Anthony is also a cool dude. Everyone here I'm still friends with except, Anthony, not this Anthony, the other Anthony, and, Logan. I stopped hanging out with Anthony for various reasons. It's because mostly he's a furry. And I stopped hanging out with Logan because he we sort of distanced ourselves, sort of. Takanashi, that's, I mean, it's so stupid and also funny. Oh, probably the best scene of the Mythos Beta episode. The reason I say that is because it pisses Luke off so much to see this scene. Because it is so cringe for him. And I love it. That's why I love it so much. I mean, I will admit, a lot of my old scenes are super cringe and everything. Get a little dance by Roman. Very cool. Very cool. So, if you guys want to know real quick, because nothing's gonna happen honestly, the reason that Mythos, I believe it's Delta or whatever the F1 is, French, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's D or F, I'm not sure. Basically, the reason it never came out was because there was a lot of schoolwork for all of us during that time, and also Anthony and the rest of us sort of distanced ourselves. Me and Luke remained friends. Nice one, Luke. But me and Anthony and Luke and Anthony distanced ourselves, like, we didn't talk as much. So, there's no real way to get him filming. The last clip I've ever filmed with him was the opening for Mythos Delta D or F, whatever it is. Put it in post, whatever. Which is gonna come up around the 10-minute mark if I'm correct. The song you're hearing here is Luminal, featured on the Orbis album made by me. So that's cool. I really like doing that album, but who cares about that? Now originally in the video, I didn't censor out the things, and so I had to censor it out there. Not really much to say about this scene. It's just something I hated was I kept looking at the camera, and also Logan's brother kept looking at the camera. Why? Because I think Logan's brother was nervous, and I just was like, oh, look at me, guys, funny moment. Some amazing editing coming up. Yeah. I'm not sure. A lot of the knockout scenes didn't make any sense at all, so that's why they were just so awkward and weird. But what can you do? My actual house interior. What is from an old YouTuber, Inkling1, just wanted to mention that because no one gets that. That, if you remember in the original episode, that was supposed to be a blooper, but I left it in by mistake. It's supposed to be like it ended after he get knocked out, but I added in what an epic fight, dudes, and then I was like, ooh.
Maybe we could try his goggles.
I cut out the entire thing of going upstairs, fighting a sniper, and fighting the big boss of sorts because it was cringe. It was just straight cringe. I also went in post and I did keyboard clacking sound effects because I also did an access granted thing because I didn't like how it originally turned out. And yes, that is my room. Most of it's still the same. The painting is still there. God bless Pepe. That painting is great. So as for there's an upcoming scene that was cut as well. It was Ael Hassan. He was originally going to be a main character when the series was originally going to be 24 parts. Jesus Christ, that would have been so boring. That would have been like Family Guy where everything's dragged out. Or SpongeBob, either one. Also touched the mic, my bad. But then I decided no. Oh, and I also misspelled this by mistake. Shut up. And it's so stupid. Like, I got this blue suit and everything, and it doesn't even... I'm not even gonna use it for anything now. Well, I mean, now, especially because of the coronavirus and everything. So, a long story on all this. I was doing, this stupid voice. Let me see if I can do it. Hey, man. Nah. Hey, man. Large glass, small glass, so fancy. I don't know. I was just going off of, like, a voice that Ethan did before, and I was like, that's kind of funny, bro. As for that glass that the drink was poured from, that is just some, like, old, like, a really cool thing of apple juice, or whatever. It's, like, actual apple juice, like, fresh apple juice. This was, I believe, around September 2019, and even that Luke hates because I don't know. It's Luke. What do you expect? It's so funny because the scenery changed so much over the course of a year. This entire area used to be way less green. Like, you could go down there. Now it's, like, trees are covering it, so it's, like, super hard to go down without getting cut up a bit. Thumbnail. Thumbnail moment. So yeah, this is the last, as I was saying earlier, this is the last part, or this last bit I filmed with Anthony. There's still, to be honest, uh-oh. I also messed that up, so I'll have to go back and post and fix that. So, congrats, you got to see a little thing. But, there's still, like, for that clip, that was the last one that me, Anthony, and Luke all filmed together. There was an extra, like, minute or two of that. I cut it out because it wouldn't have made sense at all. Probably Mythos. This Mythos. God, there's too many. I don't know. This is probably one of the. I don't know, like. Second to third. No, this is probably like the second or third best Mythos episode, in my opinion. I think the worst one was definitely the one where we just. The second one where we were just wandering around in the tunnel. The first one was kind of cringe. The third one was good. I felt like it goes 3, 4, 1, 2. So yeah, that's what I feel. It's this one's it's all right, but the problem is like, you know, Anaya is shown, but the problem is she isn't even excuse me. She isn't even like she isn't shown after that. Like, she's shown in the beginning, but afterwards she's the camera person, so she's just running around with us and everything. And then here comes Duchess to General Augustus Gurrenstein or whatever. I don't remember, honestly. Back then I was really bad with my German accent, and also my just actually speaking German. So I just used like Google Translate or whatever. And so, you know, in the original video I was just doing like an Spielen and Spiel an Koit, just like random nonsense that made absolutely zero sense. Honestly, the only thing I remember is this scene where it's like Idiotin, Todlokonin, Todlokongor or whatever, where it basically means like idiot, you stupid Todlokongor. Here is Speed or whatever. It was a really bad track from Red Pill or whatever. Yeah, I know, super edgy, am I right, guys? Basically, it was stupid. Yeah. That right there, that was some like, no, you didn't shoot me. No, that doesn't count. Shut up. It's just super cringe. I'm pretty sure Halit is hold it. Please don't quote me on any of this German. German is like German's my third language. No, yeah, third language, because I learned Japanese from the Pink Eye Romanji video, I Love Sex. And then I learned German. This is Luke's favorite scene. I think it's pretty good too. This is like the only scene that Luke likes in Mythos of him. And now some weird stuff. I don't even know about this stuff, bro.
After the disappearance of
Now
Marcus,
here's
people
pitch
went their
shifted
separate
and
ways.
dumb
The
reverb
world
me.
continued without him. Michael Vsauce grew old and found a YouTube channel.
I tried
Anthony
doing
Lloyd
like a
became part
Fallout
of the United
3,
Libertarian Front.
well, Fallout 1 to
Logan
New
Solo died
Vegas
at
type
18.
slideshow thing where they like
Roman Sukashima
show the
was fired from his
aftermath of what
job
happens
disobeying
after the Vault
Understood
Dweller,
General Augustus Good
Chosen
came to
One,
town days after the battle.
Lone
Takanashi
Wanderer
became an idol
slash
for all those
Courier
days across
finishes the
the
game.
plains. The
So
Swag
this is sort of
God
what I was
remembered
going
his
for.
great values
You
and
know, I
decency.
had this idea of like, oh,
The
it's kind of
anomalies were strong.
cool.
And
I
Marshall,
mean, it's
well,
definitely
Marshall
better
never
than just leaving
wandered
it
off
off
into
on Luke
searching
doing
for a
a
way home,
what you say and
searching
doing
for
the L
purpose,
dance from Fortnite.
searching for a meaning.
And yeah,
And thus concludes the
that's
story
Mythos.
of Mythos.
Thank you for coming by. I guess the only thing I've left to say is this is Long Lankin. It is a really great song. I'm not sure who did the cover. It was just uploaded to YouTube about 8 years ago. Can't really contact the person because that was her last upload. But yeah, I got the idea of using Long Lankin as the final track from The Shivering Truth, which is one of my favorite TV shows. So, yeah, that's all. Thank you all for coming by. Thank you for watching Mythos, and I hope you enjoy the future content. God bless.